the regime that Vladimir Putin installed in Russia is not forever. Many people are not happy with it. The average Russian has seen the standards of living go down. The familiar foreign brands have left the country. There is more and more repressive laws, and of course, there is constant stream of coffins coming back to Russian homes from the battlefields of Ukraine.
Mr. Navalny's mysterious stomach pains. What more do we know about the condition in which that he is currently in?
We get trickle information from the prison where he is held. We learned on Monday from his lawyer that an ambulance was called in the night from Friday to Saturday, and that he has acute stomach pain, and that over the last 15 days he lost about 8 kilos. So given the history of his poisoning by Russian security services, we are very concerned about what can happen to him in the penal colony in Russia.
Okay, understood. And that is helpful context, of course. When you say you get sort of trickles of information, how regularly can you make contact, or can representatives make contact with him?
A lawyer visits him several times a week, but in contrast with how other inmates are treated, the lawyer cannot really see Alexy Navalny because they're separated by a barrier, so they can only talk through this barrier. And also, any correspondence that we want to send to him or he would like to send to the outside world goes through 3-day censorship procedure with the prison authorities.
Okay. What influence do you think Mr. Navalny still has on Russian politics? Has he effectively been silenced by being jailed, do you think?
Well, Russian political field has been bulldozed by Putin's regime for 2 decades, so it's difficult to have a direct influence on what goes on in Russia. Over years, Navalny emerged as the most prominent opponent of Putin and Putin's regime, and in 2020 he was poisoned, so that with the hindsight, it's clear that Russian authorities were preparing for the invasion of Ukraine, and they wanted to silence all opposition within Russia. He's arguably the most famous political prisoner now globally. And from prison, despite his harsh conditions, he sends the words of condemnation for the war and opposition to Putin's regime. So despite bad health, he's in good spirits.
Where does he and where do you, as an ally, as a colleague, as a supporter of him, where do you all find hope in this situation?
We think the history has its flaws, and the regime that Vladimir Putin installed in Russia is not forever. Many people are not happy with it. The average Russian has seen the standards of living go down. The familiar foreign brands have left the country. There is more and more repressive laws, and of course, there is constant stream of coffins coming back to Russian homes from the battlefields of Ukraine. The political and business elite have seen their fortunes decimated. Many of them have been put under Western sanctions. So I think the discontent is growing. It will probably take a combination of wide popular unrest and some sort of coup within the elite. But I think it's a matter of a few years until we see the start of political change in Russia.
Thank you so much for watching. You get extra points for making it all the way to the end of the video.
And if you want to see more from me, Chloe and Callum, you can join us every Friday to Sunday on Times Radio from 6 a.m.